Hello, Author 2. I'm Irene Tansman. Today I'd like to talk to you about my struggle to fit my latest novel into a genre. My novel is set in the late 1960s through 1985. So is it a historical fiction or a contemporary? I think that agents think about stories like the kind that Ken Follett writes when they think about historical fiction. Some people have told me that if it's after World War II, it's a contemporary. But contemporary means living or occurring at the same time as us. Well, who is us? I lived through this time period, but my hope is that some of my readers may not have. I have this hope because I want my book to teach them something that they didn't know before. My book is a heart-wrenching story surrounding historical events, thoughts, and ideas. History is at the center of my novel. I want to read my query and learn how others would categorize my novel. Also, please feel free to comment on my query itself. I am here to learn and exchange ideas with you. So here is an example of a query I sent to Amy Collins, a literary agent who specializes in historical fiction. And by the way, I don't use the same query for all agents. I tailor it according to who I'm sending it to. This is just an example, but my other queries are sort of on the same idea. Dear Amy Collins, I am currently seeking representation for Refrigerator Mother, an 88,000-word dual POV historical fiction set in the Boston area from the late 1960s through the 1980s. Given your preference for books that inform, I thought you might be interested in representing my novel. Can you imagine your child having a devastating disability and everyone around you believes you caused it? That is what happens to my protagonist, Susan Kingston. Susan and David suffer from a blunder in the medical and psychological communities. The toxic mother as the cause of autism theory. This theory gained popularity in the US from 1943 into the mid-1980s and beyond. In 1985, the theory began to fall out of favor when neurologists discovered biological differences in the brains of individuals diagnosed with autism. However, there are still remnants of the destructive poor mothering theory in the medical, psychological, and educational communities today. Historical fiction circa 1960s has been commercially successful as evidenced by Catherine Stockett's The Help and Elin Hilderbrand's Summer of '69. Refrigerator Mother may also appeal to readers of autism fiction, such as Mark Haddon's The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. There has not been a novel about the poor parenting theory since Sue Miller's reissue edition of Family Pictures in 2016. Refrigerator Mother clearly emphasizes the sorrow this sad chapter in history caused. Miller's book only hints at the devastation caused by the cruel theory promoted by Bruno Bettelheim. The refutation of the poor mothering theory has never been properly popularized. Bettelheim is still quoted by those who are unaware of his fall from grace. To prevent the mistakes of the past, we need to learn from them. That's why I wrote this book. As the mother of an adult with autism, a staunch advocate for people with disabilities, and a person interested in this piece of history, I feel uniquely suited to write this story. Susan Vars is abused by her parents as a child. She longs for the love, acceptance, and sense of family she never had growing up. Out of her desperation for love, she gets pregnant out of wedlock. She marries David Kingston, a young, handsome medical student who is dominated by his controlling parents. When Susan's baby shows signs of autism, her in laws believe her poor parenting is the cause. The in laws are determined to smear Susan and poison David's thoughts about his young wife. They try to break up the young marriage, take the child away, and place him in an institution. Susan desperately loves her son despite his disability, and she wants to give him the childhood that she never had. Unfortunately, because of her background, she wonders whether she is a good mother or a good person. She strives to do everything possible to keep her son living with her and to reach her ultimate dream of hearing him talk. As time goes on, her situation becomes more difficult, but she finds help and solace in a special person from David's past. David's mother pushes him into having an affair, and the couple divorces as a result. Susan eventually realizes her dreams at a high cost, and David comes to terms with the mistakes and miscalculations in his life. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Irene Tansman. I hope you'll give me some feedback on my query and on what genre you think my book belongs in. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.